Okay, we have the final champion in this 80 card drop. 3 mana, Azir. When its allies attack, summon an attacking sand soldier, you summon 10 units. Okay, so we saw these sand soldier cards yesterday, and this is why it's tough to do piecemeal spoiler review. Is we talked about, hey, maybe there's some other payoff coming for these sand soldiers, and maybe they'd be good if so. And Azir is obviously that payoff, right? So to re-highlight a card from yesterday's review, we looked at Dune Keeper here, who summons a 1/1 ephemeral alongside him on 1. So you get this card plus another one, which is 2 out of your 10 summoned units for Azir. So these Sand Soldier summons pair with Azir nicely. And honestly, summoning units, Azir probably pairs very well into an ephemeral archetype, right? With Blighted Caretaker and stuff, just summoning lots of multiple units, which is fantastic. Let's see what his level mode does. The new card set for Runeterra drops tomorrow, Wednesday at about noon central, noon 30, somewhere in there. When allies attack, summon a sand soldier. When you summon an ally, give us both +1 attack this round. This is fine. So like again, this seems so. Lucian has long been the second champion that pairs with Hecarim, and Azir here feels like another unit that slots naturally in there. A lot of the cards that are going to work that you want to play with Hecarim seem like you'll want to be playing them with Azir, and there's a lot of Shurima cards that work with Hecarim well. You can also restore the Sun Disc here to get a 3rd level on this Ascended champion. When I level up, replace your deck with the Emperor's deck, and then draw 1 card. When allies attack, summon an attacking the Emperor's deck. What in the hell does that mean? Oh, so is that what most of these other cards do? All the new tokens replace your deck. Okay, so let's look at. So this is his champion spell. Summon a Sand Soldier. Create a fleeting arise in your hands. This is just a bunch of sand soldiers. Yeah, the cards without rarity will be a 6. So this is not the Emperor's deck. This is a card you can play Emperor's Divide. Give enemies. Okay, neat. I don't know how I feel about this card being playable, but it's a neat design. It basically levels up Hecarim on its own. It works towards leveling up Azir almost completely on its own. Obviously, you can't summon things you don't have room on your bench for, but if your bench is mostly empty, this does most of the work leveling that up. Kill an ally or destroy one of your mana gems to stop all enemy fast, slow spells and skills. Huh. I like this a lot. This card's probably playable, right? Yeah, what do I do? Rip Iodia? Like we were only playing Iodia for deny, and now you get a deny effect in a playable region? Yeah, this is great. And like notably, it stops all of the enemy ones, right? So like if you're going back and forth on a stack, this tags most of them. And also, something else that's really important to note with this card is destroying one of your mana gems may seem extreme, but this synergizes with another card that we saw. Where is it? There's a 2 mana card in here somewhere that says give a unit -4 attack or kill it if they have more mana gems than you. So like having more enablers for that effect. Like I can't find it now. I don't know what it's called, but there's a thing that like gives you a bonus if you have fewer mana gems than your opponent. So like you're able with a card like that to turn this kind of downside of destroying a mana gem into a potential upside, which is neat. Okay, and then all of the remaining cards from here, I assume, are the Emperor's deck. So they're all going to be really pushed cards because these are not cards you actually put into your deck. They are a collection of powerful cards. You have to level up the Ascendant by restoring the Sun Disc to get. Obliterate an enemy follower, draw a card. 5/4 for 2 fearsome. When I'm summoned, draw a card. 7 mana, 10/7. When I'm summoned, draw one. Round end, the strongest enemy and I strike each other. Enemies are vulnerable. Round start rally. Golden Herald. Play in round start, summon 2 sand soldiers and grant them +2/+2. Excuse me? Summon Renekton and Nasu, immediately level them to level 3. That's gasoline. Obliterate 3 enemy units or landmarks. Yeah, I mean, these cards are all great. I mean, like, obviously these cards are all great, right? Like, you have to jump through hoops to ascend him to level 3 to make this happen. Summon an exact copy of an ally. It's ephemeral. Draw a card. This is Burst. Emperor's Prosperity, 2 mana, draw 2. Sure. Yeah, I mean, all these cards are really pushed and good, right? Because you have to, like, jump through a bunch of hoops to do it. Oh, it rallies. It rallies as well. So it summons them, levels them to 3, and then rallies. Sure. And now, like, something that's interesting to think about here is how does the Sun Disc work? For the rest of so the Sun Disc, again, for people that aren't familiar with that, let's open this in a new tab. This is a landmark where if you start the game with if your deck is all Shurima cards, you start with this in your hand, and then it counts down 25, and it reduces by its countdown by 10 every time an Ascended ally levels up. So basically, if you level 2 Ascended allies to level 2, the Buried Sun Disc pops up really quick. Now, the tough part of evaluation here is looking at Azir, for example. Azir feels like a champion that really wants to be included with SI for summoning champions quickly. So leveling this in just a mono Shurima deck is probably going to be more difficult than it would be in others. Not impossible, obviously, but it's not going to happen nearly as quickly. So I like the Buried Sun Disc aspect of what's going on here, where you can either like choose to get to level 2 quickly by building with a second region that synergizes well, or you can work a little bit more slowly on leveling up these Ascended by being a mono Shurima deck, but then you get this payoff of getting to that level 3 on the Ascended. It's a really, really neat way to do this. I mean, like, the design space that they've utilized in this set is really good, and the design space in general, in my mind, really shows just like the range of what Riot's going to be able to do with Runeterra in a good way. And it's nice to see that they didn't just power creep the region, right? Like, they're genuinely different designs that are doing things that are neat and seem like they could be good, but they're not just strictly better than like the other 8 regions that we already have, which is good. We are getting a Runeterra news. We are getting the smallest of balance patches. Someone filled me in. The only card update we're getting is that they're making Aphelios lose the stat line. This is a good change. In my opinion, this isn't enough. Burblefish and Twisted Fate are both really obnoxious. For reference, for people that weren't following the seasonals over the weekend, 80% of the lineups in the top 4 from the 4 different seasonal tournaments had Twisted Fate and Aphelios in them. So, like, Aphelios definitely needed this bit of a nerf bat. Twisted Fate needs it too. Burblefish is real obnoxious with pick a card and the other things. So, yeah, I mean, they acknowledged it. They did. Steve Rubin, to their credit, did acknowledge Twisted Fate, and that's going to be coming. Response time is a little bit lagging, but it is going to get there. And honestly, like, if we get a Twisted Fate patch in 2 weeks, that's probably fine. You know, people laddering over the next 2 weeks, like the first 2 weeks after an expansion, people are going to be trying lots of things and playing lots of new things for fun. So I expect the format to be fun and interesting, even if with Twisted Fate being left overtuned, because again, most people are playing games for fun, right? Like, games are fun. So I don't expect people to keep hammering the same things. People are going to be trying lots of different things. So yeah, we don't need a Burblefish timer like we did for Teferi. Is exactly correct. And like, it's funny, like, slow by Riot standards from last year, is still really quick compared to Magic and other games that we've played. So I'm glad they acknowledged it. I'm glad that we're going to see something come down the pipeline. This change is good. Like, for example, Noxious is getting another deal too. Shurima has a card that deals 2 to champions. Mystic Shot exists. So like this nerf to the base stat line on Aphelios here is a genuinely big deal, and I'm glad that this is happening. Excited to also see Twisted Fate get whacked with the bat in the future. All right, that's going to be it for me. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon with some Runeterra gameplay. The first hour of my stream tomorrow for Runeterra is going to be sponsored by the Twitch bounty board, actually. So if you enjoy my content, you want a really easy way to support me, be here for the first hour of my Runeterra stuff, starting about noon central, noon 30 tomorrow. The bounty board pays out based on how many viewers I have while I do it. So appreciate everybody that can show up and hang out for tomorrow's stream. Obviously, if you can't be here, it'll all go up on YouTube as always after the fact. I'm going to figure out tonight what exactly we're going to be building tomorrow. I've got some deck ideas kicked around already, so thanks everybody for hanging out. If you missed the rest of my spoiler review, I've done full reviews of all the champions and stuff that are coming in the set. They're all up on my YouTube channel in the Runeterra playlist, and this one's going to get added there momentarily if you came in late. Stay safe out there, folks. See you tomorrow.